we here? Yeah, we're here. Quick update or two. Let's get down to some business. Let me move this box over here out of the way. This looks like junk. Total idiot when it comes to Streamlabs, so total idiot when it comes to Streamlabs, so but y'all can hear me, so I'm good to go there. Always update your mods before you go live. Alright, that's updated to me, I think. Finished off last time I was planting beans in Alma and my tractor went crazy and it messed up it threw a bunch of other tractors around in a circle, so I don't know what happened last time. We got stuck planting soybeans with a John Deere drill in the corner of the field trimming the headlands, so let's go back and try to not do that this time. Let's have a good planting night. Haven't been on in a minute. Welcome back if you're here viewing now. Good to be back. 44 hours on this map. Let's keep going. We got some wheat to harvest also pretty soon on the north end of this map. And for some reason I got 2 subscription goals up here. I don't know why. Well, nobody said they can't see it. I'm trying to get my stream fixed, sorry. Alright, let's just go play. And we're taking our time loading the map up now, so sub goal. Trying to get to 400 subs. I have really been slacking lately. I did 200 pretty quick and then went to like 260, 270 something. And now we have not done many, so we have to get after it. How to get after it. And I'm not too sure. Um, that's right, I'm bringing the Seed Master over here to load this planter back up, since we had to do a whole reset on that grain drill because it went haywire. So luckily we had some seed left over from the last drill field down here. And this little blow off noise is really making me mad since this last update. I'm sorry that Giants thinks everything has a daggum air brake hooked to it. I still got some skill there, boy. There ain't no seed in that first hopper. We need to go to that. Definitely ain't it. There we go. A little seed flow. All right. Let's get back out of here. We got stuff to do. Hit that daggum subscribe and like button. Thank y'all for stopping by. It's a pleasure. We have not been on in quite a while, so. Whoa. Did not weigh enough. So I got over here the other night and I got stuck. This thing was running course play just fine and it just hung up right here. So I got in the tractor and I was going to move it myself and it wouldn't move. Looks like it's doing fine now. So let's try to put it back in. Oh crap. I reset the whole thing. And when you reset, you reset. Let's try to just generate another course real quick. I'm done with everything but the headland, so this should be pretty easy. I'm going to go nearest waypoint from right here and roll. Let's fix this real quick. I'm going to go to where he first starts planting it. The ends right here. I could just do first waypoint. That'll do it right there. Should be good to go right there. This is soybeans, so nice wholesome soybean field right here. Wholesome. I said so wholesome. And we got quite a bit of planting to do from now on here. So we're gonna have to roll behind this guy. And this joker right here ain't got much longer either. This is soybeans as well. I'm going to plant these two fields in soybeans and we're going to go back to corn planting. And I would much rather plant with this. There it is. I knew I'd get it back. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. There it is. I did. There it is right there. That's the tractor. I hooked that fast magnum with this joker. We'll get that done quickly. Go to buy pickup, boy. I finally found my 3-point hitch planter I was looking for last episode. So it finally showed back up in my mod list. I don't know why. I'm not going to ask about it. Hook this to the damn roller. This thing right here screams. He'll get there quick for sure. It'll be just fine, boy. And he'll be on the mulcher. So there's my planter. Thank goodness. I'm going to pick up a seed or two while I'm over here because I got to drive back to the house anyway. It doesn't matter. That's going to be on that mulcher, so. I was going to do, I'm going to do soybeans on that corner. That's a prime piece of property right there. That thing has some great yields. I'm going to do soybeans on that little skinny. I could do soybeans. I'm going to have to buy some land and do some soybeans on because I did not leave any room for soybeans. I did not. Buy that big field too. I planted so much wheat I did not leave any room for soybeans. I'll make it work. We'll put soybeans on that and start that out right. Okay. The good news is I was able to just come back in and do my ends on this field here. Good evening. How's it going? Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Hope all is well. How you been doing? We are back at it over here with some soybeans and some corn. I've got another roller tractor there. I can put the magnums on those rollers. And not bad. A little busy for sure. I took last Friday I got off early, but I had to mow. We finally got some rain over here, so my grass just shot up in there. I had to mow a little bit. I was going to play Farm Simulator this past Friday, and then by the time I got off late Saturday, so I couldn't play. I was too tired. I got off at 8 o'clock, and then I didn't feel like it Sunday. I came up here and went to bed. So. But we had to make time today. I'll be on vacation this coming weekend. I'll be in Pensacola, so no Farm Simulator this weekend. We'll just be doing a bunch of shorts and reels. Some reels from the bar, shorts from the bar and the beach. I was sitting there griping about this planter the other night, and it finally showed up at my store. So I had to come get this joker. This works out real good in some of these fields that point out real bad, and actually covers a pretty good bit of ground. I work at a car dealership. Um, we get to work like super early in the morning, and then sometimes you got late customers come in. You have to be there, so it can be a long 12 or 13 hour day. We work till 7. We close at 7, but if you got late customers, you just hang out with them and sell them something. So customer first. But it's not always a lot of work, but it can be some long days. And unfortunately, I'm the sales manager. I get to run everybody out of the building and clean the building up and lock it, lock gates and everything. It's not so bad though. It pays the bills. I think I was there till at Saturday before last. I was there till like almost 9 o'clock. So I had a late deal. But it's cool. It's no big deal. I don't ever encourage anybody not to buy anything if they come to buy it, for sure, if it's what they want. Well, that planted a lot prettier than I thought it would. This thing does horrible at pointing out. No. They do this every time. Well, that's good. I can see the safety aspect of that. Um, when I worked on a farm years ago, we had the capability to work, late at night, but I remember very, very, very few nights just staying out there till can't. So it's kind of, you got light, but it's not safe to be out there at night in the open like that. Solar farms, everybody's not paying attention, so you fall off in a hole or run over something or run over yourself. So I see that. It's actually really, that's a good standpoint to take. We used to be open until 8 every night before COVID, so um, I don't complain. I do not and will not complain because we used to get to work at 7 in the morning and work till 8 o'clock at night, and customers would surely come in at 7:45 to buy something. They would show up, so no big deal. But still, I'd get off at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and my managers would be very PO'd because they got to work earlier than I did. So some people do, which we can sell somebody a car now in an hour or two. It's nowhere near the process it used to be. It used to be a grueling all-day process, but I can normally get somebody in and get somebody out pretty quick. It's nowhere near the headache it used to be for sure. Oh, I remember being there all daggone day. You had to go in the morning, and you would be there all day. Yeah, some people get off work, 5:30, 6 o'clock, and they show up at the dealership when they get off. So, uh, and I do have some people want to get there, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. We're gladly, if I got that gate open, you come buy a car. The only bad thing is I don't normally have a wash bay that late, so I had to go there and scrape the stickers off of it and kind of put the floor mats in and, you know, get their stuff ready to go and get them to come back and get it washed anytime they get ready. So, but I've had a lot of very happy customers that late at night, and I've had some that just I'm walking out and they just leave then because it's too late to fight with you or make you mad. So. This tractor is a total beast. 1,400 horses. Now we worked till 8 o'clock. Man, people come in there all the time at night, and like I said, they would show up. They'd call you on the phone at 7. I know y'all are getting ready to close, but I really want to come buy that car. Come on. I'm at a Dodge dealership, so I don't really know about the Mustangs that well. I can definitely ask my guys. We got 3 Ford stores in our dealer network. I can definitely ask them what that's looking like um, for information purposes for you. So I don't mind, and I can update you whenever you want me to. We got 3 Ford stores. I'm just kind of glad everybody's leaning back towards gas engines. I hate to bust anybody's bubble, but gas is the way to go in cars. So we're getting the Hemis back in our trucks. So I've got an inline 6 in mine. I love it. I got the 540 horsepower version. It's super quick, pulls fine, but it's kind of quiet. And we like to be heard here in the South. But yeah, I can definitely let you know if you want to hit me up in the next couple of days. I'll see what their ETA on a 26 Mustang is down the street. Good guys at Landers Ford, South Haven. If they got one on the way, they'll tell me. I'm trying to get some 26 Chargers in now so I can get some cars moving again. They shoved those electric ones down our throat, so that was not nice. Yeah, well, the good thing is we're going to have so far we're going to have a 4-door and a 2-door Charger, and there's some more models kind of in the pipeline that we're rumored to have, so I don't normally comment until I see them on paper or in a class. But I think they know they messed up. I bet they know they messed up, so. Only an idiot would try to take horsepower with all that metal and muscle and all that noise away from people that love it, so. But yeah, I loved a Challenger too. I've never owned one, but they were awesome looking cars, whether they were sitting still or doing 100. So the we had a stage 1 and a stage 2 model. The stage 1 models went very quickly. Almost everyone we got, we sold it really quickly. I've had 2 stage 2 models come in, which were higher horsepower, and we have not sold either one of them. So now I've got like 25 grand off of them, or 30 grand off, just trying to get rid of them. But you know, that's a lot of money for a car. $75,000 for a car. Take 30 grand off of it, and it's still a lot of money for a car. But yeah, the stage 1, which was the lower priced model with lower horsepower, did fine. It's been trouble free for the most part. Not completely, but a few little hiccups, you know. But it's really fun to drive. It's fast. That little speaker that makes a lot of noise is like not my favorite, but whatever. Yeah, back in the day you could for sure. And I heard the Viper was coming back as well. So well, again, until I see it on paper, I don't normally comment on that. But we got to get some cool stuff back on the lot. All we had was Grand Cherokees and trucks and Wranglers. So. All these cars have gotten so expensive that like our average vehicle in the lot now is like 60 grand, which is insane. So they're finally lowering the price of some on some of these models, but it should have never got to that. One of the things I couldn't fit in a Viper, so that really sucked. Is I'm glad I got this planter back because this thing right here is gold in this little field. You mentioned solar farm. We got some windmill farms down this way now, and I think they're building a solar farm close to me as well. A lot of windmills down here now. I'm going to be out of tractors here in a minute. I need to take that lime rig over there and get the. I'll wait. '22 highway. Did he have lime? He's got lime. I bet that was a big change of pace going from Texas to California. I can only imagine. But hey, you got to follow the money. I mean, if you gotta go get that job, hey, go for it. I bet it was a big change in pace though. Never been to California, so I can't really comment. But I see the I see stuff. So I'm so glad to get my planter back. I was so unhappy not to have this thing the other night. I use this on several fields on this map, just a decent size, quick hitch planter, 3-point planter. Working great. He'll probably do the other field too. We got one more round of that last field. California's a big place though, so you have a wide span there. Some beautiful mountains from what I've seen. Beautiful country. I've never been though. I haven't made it past Las Vegas, I think. Good old dispensary. We're starting to get those in Mississippi as well. We have a few scattered about. I've never been to one of those either, so I'll drink all your beer though. Okay, Santa Maria, that's cool. Santa Maria, excuse me. Cool, cool. Long way off from where I'm at. I'm just south of Memphis in North Mississippi, so a long way from the house. Oh, what we doing? That's just bad. You know, I met a deputy one time from Los Angeles County, and he was telling what kind of money they made. Then he was telling what kind of house he had. I'm like, oh, okay, well that is pretty expensive. So he was telling me he made 120 a year or something like that, and this was back in like '07, '08. And he's like, well, we got a $900,000 home. Okay, great, understand now. Man, that thing is jacked us up bad. Okay. We had some demons when they were first available for order. Um, I think we ended up getting 3 or 4. So, but I haven't seen them since. That was a sweet ride, but people were paying up for them. They were paying stupid money for those cars. I don't think we sold one. We sold one to one guy in Memphis, but the rest of them went like Minnesota and Texas, so they were like way off. So we may not see those again. That's one of those things like you just really had to want, you know. They were rumored they weren't going to make V8s anymore, and they were told back in 18 on those demons that they weren't going to have. That was the last demon they were ever going to make. Then they came out in 23 with some more, so that was kind of a slap in the face. I don't blame anybody for being mad about that. But that was a cool ride. That's getting on my damn nerves. Wonder if I can just drive this myself. We don't hardly see any Hellcats, honestly. I don't hardly see any Hellcats anymore. Maybe for service department they come in, but I don't see many of them anymore. Everybody got so scared of them getting stolen and stuff. It was a real big problem around Memphis. They were just getting stolen. You couldn't leave your car anywhere. They actually stole a couple off my lot one night, like one Sunday morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to go up there, and there was 2 cars missing. Sure enough, so it was really, really sad. And then everybody got scared of them just being stolen, sitting in a parking lot or sitting at home. Yeah, I remember when I first started working this brand in 18, I was like, man, I'm gonna get a Hellcat one day. And I ain't, no, I'm like you, I'm not paying. Not paying for that. So I'll spend 50 for a truck, but not a car. Not a toy, for sure. So. Just to have somebody try to steal it. They do hold some value, but unless you stack a lot of miles up on them. You put a lot of miles on, that's when you have a problem. Nobody wants a miled up sports car. Unless you're good at working on them. Which we had a little while, everybody had to have a Hellcat. Everybody wanted a Hellcat. Everybody wanted a Scat Pack. Everybody wanted a Hemi. And then they just took them away from us. Then there were none. If I get a used one on a lot, it's gone pretty quickly. They don't stay long. Man, that other tractor there is taking forever to do those ends on that big field. Jeez. I did pretty good over here. I used to drive tractors for real, so I can do this. Just don't have very good depth perception here. That's not bad. That's I see them. I've had some SXTs lately that came in that were like decent equipped, not like overly equipped that were like that. So I mean, different markets have different things, but that's not bad for a GT at all with that mileage on there. Good move. Good move on that one. GT is a nice package, just like an RT with a V6. It's not bad at all. And the insurance is probably a lot cheaper on that 6-cylinder. But I've had a couple of Hemis before, man. They were ripping me sideways on insurance. I got a good stream going now. 5 people watching. I ain't had 5 or 6 people watching in a while, so shout out in advance, everybody. Hit that like and that subscribe button if you want to. At least hit the like button. Oh, 20 GT Mustang, my bad. Or GT Chargers of V6s, my bad. You did say Mustang earlier. We were talking about Chargers and Challengers, my bad. Sorry. Yeah, the GT Mustang for that price is a hell of a deal. So, my error on that. Most insurance companies, when you go to like 24 and a half, 25 years old, it should be a lot better. You should be in great shape at that point. I know my insurance almost killed me till I turned 25 and I mean 24 and a half. That was with Farm Bureau years ago. So depending on your individual, but yeah, 24 and a half normally makes a big difference. So hang in there, drive safely. I really don't want to fill this planter back up. I don't fit in a Mustang that well. I'm like 6'5", 6'6". I can, but I just don't. Um, I don't fit in much really. Everybody get your roll on. Nobody remembers that song. I hate when this happens. It is low to the ground. The leg room and the headroom is legroom's not that bad. The headroom is a little more minimal than that, but I don't 6'5", 6'6" does not fit in anything. So except I got a Ram pickup. That's what I fit in. So. And that boy was flying. My first car was an '88 Camaro. So I was nowhere near as big as I am now though when I had an 88 Camaro. 88, 1988. I got a 25 model pickup now, but 88 Camaro, 2.8 liter V6, multi-port fuel injection. Got hella fuel mileage, but it was not a racer. That was not made to race, which that's probably my parents took all my money out of my savings account and bought it for me. So. No, absolutely not. You think about a tree now, and your shit's totaled out. Total gone. You probably won't get hurt anymore, but you'll be totaled out. So they make all those daggum crumple zones now. So for safety. This guy's gonna be here a minute. Those old trucks, those 90s and 80s trucks were metal. Solid metal. Fenders, heavy metal. Oh yeah, those, man, 74. One of my church members' neighbors has a 70 Impala that he got in April of 73. Talking about a beautiful ride, but it's metal, metal, metal. Turbo's whining. I could drive this in real life right here. Yeah, my truck now, it's got 540 horsepower. It rides like a dream, but it ain't made of metal. It is, but it's not. So high strength steel on the frame and lightweight shit around the other side. So you're not blocked. Miss me with that shit. They might make it on the edge of the field. Got one little side to do. I hope he makes it. There's a lot of shit going on here. 74 Monte Carlo. Man, that was a great car. My dad had a 79 Camaro, and he made sure he sold it before I got my driver's license. He knew I was gonna have a heavy foot, I guess. It is an inline six with twin turbos. So that Hurricane, I got the high output version. We got two versions. One's a standard output with 425 horsepower, and mine's got the high output with 540. So twin turbos. It is one heck of an engine. So far, so good on my end. I've done a couple of 0 to 60 with it. I got a couple of shorts with it on there without even launching it. I can launch it when you spool the turbos up a little bit, and you can put it in all-wheel drive so it does not spin. But it gets loose at 10 miles an hour if you got it in two-wheel drive. So when that turbo spools up and it's doing about 10 miles an hour, it'll lose traction. So it's pretty stout for a truck. I wouldn't take it to the track and run people that, but somebody red light, you know. They're like, what the hell just happened? Now your 470 and my 540, you're probably a lot lighter, um, and it's geared different. So I'm sure you'd get me. I'd almost bet you would, but it's just funny to see people pull up at a red light and they rev their motor up, and I just leave them sitting there. Um, our 5.7 Hemi only had like 395 horsepower, and I've got almost 150 more in that inline six. So if I have trouble with the inline six, I'll go back to the Hemi. But if I don't, I'm just going to stay where I'm at. It's a well balanced engine, so I've enjoyed it. But yeah, 540 is pretty stout. Pretty good fuel economy if you keep your damn foot out of it. But yeah, I'm sure the GT Mustang is quite a bit lighter. I'd almost bet that would 0 to 60 total will be out. I do like a 4.3, 4.4, 0 to 60, so I'm sure you can demolish that. Let's start my roller over here. Yeah, we do make a nice truck. I've been with the brand since 18, and the 19 models were our redesigned pickup. And I will say they have been it's the nicest truck inside I've ever driven. Now, if you get down to it, when I look at Ford, Chevrolet, GMC, everybody makes a nice truck. I'm not going to sit there and say they don't. But I will say that ours are nice. Even the work trucks are decent. So we made a lot of standard features for 25 that we didn't have in 24. Man, that thing gets my nerve when I pop it thing and all that air blowing off. We do quite a bit of fleet and company stuff at our dealership, a lot of commercial. Or we used to do more actually. Um, I'm on Ram number 6 right now, so since 21 I've had 6. I need to quit buying trucks. I'm not gonna buy another one for a while, so. Please make it run this side. Yeah, we have good luck out of the Ram pickup line. That's been our probably it's been pretty dependable. There was a couple of hiccups with the 25 models that came out, and there still are some hiccups with those, but I haven't had any trouble out of mine. So 16,000 miles and no issues. Man, 520. I was griping about $3 a gallon for 93 here. So, jeez. And I got to run 93 in that twin turbo. So, man, I'd be upset with. I bet. I bet 93 over there or 91. Y'all's high octane there is probably super stupid. That's amazing. Yeah, I pull up at the gas pump and see $3 a gallon here, and I'm like, man, for 93, that's I burn it. You know, that's what the motor recommends. But oh man, y'all got to shop for gas out there. I'd probably go with the electric option. But that, even though your fuel's that high, I'm pretty sure your light bill is high too. Please make it around this corner. Y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Don't be scared. Like and subscribe is free. Costs nothing. I'll actually like you back. I'll like and subscribe back. That's a bonus. Almost $3 a gallon higher and across 4 states. Put it back in the home yard because it's making me mad. Welcome in, all 7 of you. And thank you for my #1 participant tonight. Oh, I feel you. I said, if I had a short drives, I'm good with electric. But extreme heat, extreme cold, tough days, I want my gas motor. I don't, like I said, if it's a spare car or just a work car, I can do some electric, but I want a gas engine if it's time to travel or it's 2 degrees outside with a foot of snow on the ground. Just sometimes you gotta have gas sometimes. Gas or diesel. I guess I could have got him to plant that field right there. He could have. Oh man, yeah. I don't think we don't do inspection stickers here anymore in Mississippi. We quit doing them in like 14 and 15, so I don't think it'd matter here either. We used to do inspection stickers. You had to have a catalytic converter, and the windshield couldn't be broken. And I get the safety stuff, but if I want my car to be loud, let it be loud. Leave me alone, right? go by the old inspection station and get it checked out. It sucks. That noise sucks too. Yep, emissions and yep, if you got to try to save the earth, and then there's extra taxes that are going to save the earth as well. Those taxes are going to save the earth as well, so. Which is total horseshit. Sorry, but it is. They had a gas guzzler tax on a Hellcat. $1,200 gas guzzler tax. Saving the earth. Yeah, right. That's what trees do anyway. Trees filter the air. Or they pull the carbon dioxide in and change it back to oxygen. Politicians think we didn't go to school. Absolutely. All over the place to tell you about saving the planet. So you pay attention like I pay attention. You pay attention just like I do, so. So I'm going to get on a private jet and fly over and tell you how not to give your money to billionaires and save the planet. I'm all for saving the planet, don't get me wrong, but it's going to happen anyway, so. Climate change is a real thing, but climate change anyway, so we can't stop that by taxing us anymore. Me paying more taxes will not save the planet. Yeah, they fly from one end of the country to the other and put out more pollution than you'll put out the whole time you got that Mustang, for sure. I got DEF on these tractors and I don't need it. Not on this game, but you see DEF is on the tractor. It's crazy. Silly. Silly shit. They probably talk bad about me in my Ram pickup too, so whatever. I care less. If they start making that note, I'll listen to them. Gotcha. Yeah, you'll never reach the amount of pollution they do. Oh man, no, you might as well park that thing and hide it. Monte Carlo, what Monte Carlo? Man, I don't know. If it's made before a certain date, I don't think they can really mess with you, but I'm not sure. That's a good question. You had to pay for the car again or something, probably. They'll make something hard for you. Man, no, I won't pass a gas station. I won't pass nothing. That'll pass another car on the highway. Man, that 454 was a good motor though. I remember like the 90 model and the '04 model or '05 model pickups that had the SS 454s. They had the 4 barrel in it or the 2 jets. Love to have that car in my garage for sure. I know my son would. Uh, Southern Juju on here. He loves classics. 454. That thing was a beast. 454 to 460 was. I think Cadillac made a 502 at one point. Old 4 barrel. Used to love to hear those things open up when that transmission downshifted. Gone. A buddy of mine in high school had a 70 something model LTD station wagon with a 460 in it and 4 barrel. I used to love to drive that car with that old long speedometer on it. They went to like 85, but you could bury it to the right. Burn a half tank gas, run that thing that fast, that quick. It burned it quick too. Good old 4 barrel. Yeah, you wouldn't pass nothing in California with that. Probably charge you with a felony. Well, take your time. You'll appreciate that. Don't ever get rid of it. I tell my son that anything he's got that's old cars, old trucks, old motors, do not get rid of it. Hang on to it. Yeah, I'm sure everybody's gonna love you. I'm sure it's not quiet at all. Just make sure you make a put a GoPro on your bumper with the suction cup and do that so you make a nice video. Man, yeah. Only a very few handful of people are smart enough to keep their old classics. We had no idea I wish I'd have kept that old piece of crap 88 Camaro with the V6 in. I wish I still had that car. I mean, even though it's old V6, I'd love to have that car still. Or my dad's 79, or he had a 77 Ford F-150 I wish I still had, man. He sold that truck, bought a 90 model Chevrolet, and I wish I still had both of those trucks, man. That's one thing you say, you don't realize what you got till it's gone, because you won't ever have that shit again. I wish I had a manual shift pickup truck. That'd be great. I'd love to have a manual shift vinyl bench seat. That'd be awesome. Where am I at? You can see what some of those cars are going for on like eBay and stuff that people have kept them mint. Auctions and Mecum auction and eBays. Yeah, I'd pass on that quick too. But man, no. At least ask me for 10 or 15,000. You know, to make it a realistic, a realistic post. Yeah, that too good to be true shit. Probably is. Want to give you a code and a PayPal code. And yeah, no, I'm out. Nope. $3,000 for that car? Yeah. No. I just did something I never do. I never plant the ends first. I always plant the field first and do the headlands last. We tried something different today. Ah, okay, yeah. I'm glad I got access to Carfax, so I can hunt your stuff down on Carfax pretty quick. For the most part, it does not get everything. I will not swear by 100% on Carfax, but odometer issues, bad titles, you do pretty good with that on there. I had a buddy of mine shopping for a car not too long ago, and he was looking at some, a cheap car for his daughter. He sent me a VIN, and the guy was showing like 140,000 miles in the car, and the last odometer reading was 304. So he had put a new clutch in that car or something, and tried to lie about it. I bust him out. So I'm an old law enforcement officer too, so I'm real skittish about buying anything like that. I'm a good car guy because I'm really suspicious of a lot of stuff. So I look a lot of stuff over when we do trade-ins and stuff. So. Well, he did have the title though. That's the thing about it. He did have a title. But was he supposed to have the title? That's the question. I've seen a lot of people have titled stuff and they weren't supposed to have it, so. I had a stepbrother one time, he got the title to something. He's like, I got the title to it. You don't have the vehicle. You don't have nothing. So if it's not a signed title, it ain't nothing. I always check for a signed title too. But it should have had it transferred. So if they didn't have it transferred over, it wasn't registered correctly, and yeah, I get it. He's gonna spend all his time turning around this field, this little short row field. That's why I got this planter, for these fields like this. Good thing is that's all came a long way since the Carfax came a long way. But yeah, that's not a. I have pulled an auto check and a Carfax, and the wreck was showing on the auto check and not the Carfax. So it's nothing is 100%. No. It is not 100%, but um, a couple of wrecks on something up there in the back of the vehicle. It's not as bad as at the front of the car. Depends on what the wreck is too. I mean, if it had got tapped in the back a couple of times or front, it's not that bad. But airbag deployment, frame damage, having to be towed can, yeah, that can be bad. But if you go look at a car that's been wrecked and it drives and rides good, that's what you got to look at. If it's not wearing the tires out, and you know, all wrecks aren't bad wrecks. But I pulled quite a few that had rebuilt title and salvage title. And why is it so cheap? Salvage title or branded title. It depends on what you're buying too. Man, you wouldn't want to spend 30 grand on something like that. But if you're buying, you said something was cheap. I get it. And maybe they had it priced for the market value of those wrecks. So, but a Carfax is really cheap. I mean, 49 bucks will save you a lot of money. This guy's gonna take forever. I've wrecked a car a couple of times and still drove it just fine. So that '88 Camaro I had, I think I wrecked it like 7 or 8 times. Ran in the back of somebody one day with it on the highway. Backed into somebody, running off in a ditch when it was icy. Man, I learned a lot in that car. But my dad said that my first car was gonna be cheap because I was gonna tear it up. He was not lying. Probably a good thing that I did get rid of that car. Couldn't keep a transmission in it. That 700R4 transmission was pretty soft. Well, the way I drove it was pretty soft. Yeah, I mean that's not bad. That amount of money. Uh, it's not that bad. I said that if you're buying a cheaper car like that, that's not bad at all. You know what you got at that point, for that money. But we get the people that they want 20, 30 grand for a trade in, and it's got a rebuilt title on it, or it's been total loss, insurance, bought all that stuff. That's a whole different ball game. So yeah, I could totally see that. If I'm buying a 4 grand car, I'm not as leery of that as a financed high dollar or something that somebody's trying to rip me in half on. People will try it. Everybody's out for that dollar. Easy dollar. I used to pull the same planter, planting cotton. Fun times. Man, you never know. A paid for car sitting in the house can be gold, especially if you ever have like an emergency or something like that. You never know what you might need or what you may have. And paid for car could be gold. Pretty much any car. I do a lot of trade-ins on all kind of stuff, and I've got a couple of wholesalers that I take and let them bid. Like, if someone wants to trade a Porsche in, or something exotic or something crazy that I wouldn't sell or wouldn't try to sell, or uh, some high dollar stuff, I let the wholesaler look at it and bid it out, and they may just give me my trade value on it, and I sell it to them. So, but we trade for a lot of stuff. We traded for a Harley yesterday, like a 2002 Harley on an '07 Mustang, I think. Oh yeah, we'll trade for anything. I've traded for campers before. Two campers. One of them was a fifth wheel. One of them was a bumper pull. Some silly stuff. Man, if it's got a VIN on it, we'll take it sometimes. But I got that same guy that if I can give him a VIN number to it or a serial number, he'll give me a value on it, and he may want to buy it himself and just sell it, whatever. So I think the dealership next to us, our used car store, they took a pontoon boat in not too long ago. Good old pontoon boat. Look like a little bass buggy type boat, the short pontoons. So yeah, there's a limit that we can trade, but we push the limit every chance we get to get a car deal for sure, a legal car deal. Should I say it out loud? Do business. Oh man, I've had people bring me a title and just get a record to go to the house to get the car. It doesn't run. It's at the house, and I've got another wholesaler that'll just give me like $300 for it. So I just show the people $300 to $500 for their trade in, and um, it'll be something like a '03 Buick or a '98 little Chevrolet. Just like, does it run? No. Okay. So I got to send a record to the house and get it. But um, I said we took a like a Harley in yesterday with two flats. But I've towed several vehicles to people's houses to get their trade in up to the dealership. So, or let the guy that um, I've had some car people try to trade in. I'm like, I don't want that. Just no. Um, they have an '88 something at the house, or no, I'm not gonna trade for that. But but yeah, the campers and the trailers and the pontoons, and if I can get a bid on it, get a value, I'll probably trade for it. Yeah, well, I mean, I'll take it. I'll take we take stuff to the auction, and like I said, I've got some wholesalers and stuff. So we can take some junkers and some ragged stuff, you know. Uh, just depends. I know somebody traded in a motor home one time before I came to work there. Um, yeah, it's all it. There's all kinds of stuff people bring up here to trade in. Traded for several motorcycles, several motorhomes, several pool type campers. But every dealership's different, so some might not do that, and some may do more. So I had a guy wanting to trade a 300,000 mile diesel in one day, and it was worth nothing. And he got mad at me and went somewhere else, and they gave him 1,000 more, and he talked bad about me. So whatever. And I'm sure somebody's done worse than that, and some won't. Some stores may not do that at all, like some of your Highline stores or some of your import stores. I've taken plenty of things in though that, like, after we traded for them, they wouldn't crank like the next day. I had to push one behind the building one day. She brought it there, traded in, and she parked it in a parking spot. We traded for it. It would not crank. I had to get behind it and push it down to the back row. Tough luck. We'll take some of that stuff and put it back on Facebook. You know, I traded for an '07 Dodge Ram 3500 last week dually. It had like 300,000 miles on it, and I'm gonna put that car on Facebook and just cash car as is. If it cranks and you want to buy it, you can have it. So that was fun. Yeah, I figured that California would be like um, a lot of the Highlines. Um, Probably some larger Highline dealerships than we have in this area. If we have a Highline in this area, it's not like a huge dealership. Um, I could see that. I'm not going to be able to finish tonight. I was hoping I'd get finished tonight, but I got about 15 minutes before I got to get off here. 14 minutes and change, actually, but I got to get my son out here. He wants to go look at stars every night, so he's 10 years old and he loves the constellations and stuff. So I'm gonna get most of these ends trimmed in this field. I couldn't imagine buying a Lambo or even a Porsche. I don't think I could do that either. I had a guy trying to trade a Porsche in. yesterday. 90 something thousand miles, and it wasn't that bad, like as far as cleanliness, but it had a little bit of rattle in the front, and he had just spent $4,700 to get it serviced. I just couldn't imagine getting a service done for $4,700. Yeah, I'd be passing too, passing out, or passing away. Completely. $2,500 a month. That's a no. Uh, Mortgage. Mortgage. Foreign. Yeah, yeah, the insurance would probably be insanity level too. I'm not real big on a lot of foreign stuff. I've been a Nissan owner for years. I own the Jeep and Rams now, but I don't mind Infiniti, Honda, Toyota, like Kia and Hyundai, but some of that stuff, even an Audi maybe, but anything else, I'd be hard pressed to go buy. Jeez. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't I I got like a 3,400 square foot. No, excuse me, 2,800 square foot and like an acre and a half for uh, close to half that in a great area. So yeah, I feel you, brother. That's why they pay all the big bucks. Yeah, and I gripe about my house note. I couldn't imagine anything any higher. If you'd have told me I was going to have this kind of house note 5 years ago, I'd have laughed at you. So, yeah, our cost of living down this way is pretty good. I will take it that I will say that. I actually buy too much stuff that I don't need. I buy a lot of stuff I don't need and didn't need and pay up for it just because I could. And bad thing is you can't just get rid of it when you get ready. So, but it's cool. You only live once. I used to think my $600 a month, $700 a month apartment was just that was hard to do. But when I was in law enforcement, I make like $50,000, $60,000 a year. So four, five, six, $700 a month was a lot of money. Lots of dollars. I got about 10 minutes here. We're gonna hang out a few more minutes. Block by object. Well, we blocked that. Uh-oh. He's gonna try to drive through that trees. He got done with that at least. Let's see here. How bad I can mess this up. Yeah, I got shot at pretty early in the game. I think I'd been on duty for like a month. I got shot at. Luckily, I was not hit, and I stayed with it for 15 years. So no big deal. But everybody knew who not to shoot at all of a sudden. So yeah, we didn't make a lot down this way. They make a lot more than I made back then. So I've been out since 16. Uh, I got tired of this shit, and I got out right on time too. I don't think I haven't been shot at in a long time. Luckily, I do security for a church now, so that's my service. Probably so. Uh, Stuff started changing a lot in like 2010, 12, and 14. Those were a lot of big changes, and I finally just gave up. Tired. I was hoping to get done planting tonight. Almost made it. I ain't got to plant it. It's already sorghum. That's what I get for not paying attention. I bought a sorghum field. Yeah, I'm sure the 60s was a really hard time to be the police. A good and a bad time for sure, because it was hard enough from 2001 to 16 for sure. Man, you gonna be on tomorrow night? I'm finna get off here for a so I can go to bed because I gotta be at work early in the morning. I may be back on tomorrow. If I don't get off at a stupid hour tomorrow night, I may come back on tomorrow night. So, well, absolutely. I never made. I had pretty good people that were. I didn't make everybody happy when I pulled them over for damn sure. But all right then. Well, yeah, I'll hit you up tomorrow night. I'm finna close this out here in a second. I don't want to be rude and just cut off. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out with me for a little while. It's probably a little bit later tomorrow night, but I'll be on hopefully if I'm not wore out. And thanks for everybody to come by and watch tonight. I had an average 3 to 5 people watching, so that was pretty cool. Um, I hope everybody liked it, and anybody wants to subscribe, it's free. Come check out tomorrow night. If I see you on, I'll go holler at you as well. Okay. I gotta do more live stream tomorrow night at least, and maybe Friday before I leave here Saturday morning.